Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dara Ismadana. I'm from Senior High School number 12 Putra Bangsa, Lhoksukon. Here, I'm as the opposition side of the house. I want to rebut the argument of government side of the house. So the motion today is this house regards mergers and acquisition within one tech industry like Tokopedia, Gojek, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So, the information from the motion: a merger occurs when two separate entities combine force to create one joint organization, and acquisition refers to the takeover of an entity by another. So, the government side of the house say that the merger and acquisition make the limits consumer ability exercise, term and service expensive, and directly harm the customer. So, here I am as the opposite side of the house, want to rebut all your argument with all of my point of view and all of my argument. So I will explain you my argument, my point of view, and why I strongly disagree with the motion. So number one, I want to explain you the benefit of mergers and acquisition you should know. So here I am in my argument. I will rebut your argument from the government side of the house. Okay. The number one benefit of the mergers and acquisition is economic of scale. So, ladies and gentlemen, underpinning all of M&A activities is the promise of economic of scale. The benefits that will come from becoming bigger, increased access to capital, lower costs, as a result of higher volume, better bargaining power with distributor. So, I strongly disagree with the government side of the house that said mergers and acquisition is expensive. So, ladies and gentlemen, while buyers should always avoid the temptation to indulge an unfair building enjoy advantage that small company now. And the first benefit is to truly shows that mergers and acquisition had a lot of benefit from Indonesia, from the company, and from the customer. Next, ladies and gentlemen, mergers and acquisition is synergies. In this era, is globalization era, and in Revolution 4.0 area, we need a company that synergies, then the customer that make a customer will easier to get something or to buy something. Next, ladies and gentlemen, merger and acquisition opportunities, value generation. Some of the best deal happen when a company isn't even actively pursuing an acquisition. The hallmark of this acquisition is that pure cash price is less than the fair market value of the target companies, not assets. Often, these companies will be some financial distress, but a deal can be made to keep the company afloat while the buyer benefits from adding immediate value as a direct consequence of the transaction. So, with this benefit, I can rebut the government side of the house that state the mergers and acquisition will limit consumers' ability exercise. Because for me, the merger and acquisition will make the consumer easier and faster to get access. Okay, next. The mergers and acquisition make higher levels of competition. The larger the company in the theory, the more competitive it becomes again. This is essentially one of the benefits of economic of scale. Being bigger allows you to compete for more. Okay, the last that I want to explain the benefit of mergers and acquisition is access to talent. Ask anybody in the recruitment industry where the biggest talent shortage currently are, and the answer will invariably be a variant of people that can code. Why? Because of the huge demand for coders in the so-called fourth industrial revolution, like I said before. But for large billion value technology companies, the biggest always have access to best talent. That's as true for every other industry as it is technology. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia, we know that happening mergers and acquisition right now is Goto or Gojek and Tokopedia. So, quoting from Goto data, transaction traffic was more than 1.8 billion rupiah in 2020, more than 2 million partners, more than 11 million business partners and more than 100 million monthly active users. This results in an extraordinary economic turnaround reaching more than $2020 billion or equivalent to $3,014 million. 3,014 million rupiah. Okay, when compared to Indonesian 2020 gross domestic product data of 5,434.2 trillion, the turnover in GOTO contributes around 2%. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this GOTO service will certainly provide several benefits for the national economy, at least in two respects. Ajib said to Merdeka.com on Thursday, 18 May 2021. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Ajib explained that the first advantage from the measures of the two large companies was related to economic digitization and convenience from consumers. This will provide the best price of consumer and all Indonesian people for their consumption need. And as we know that, ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia, consumption of digitalization was higher year by year. According to him, competition has become very free from the producer state. The next effect is to become part of an instrument that can suppress inflation because competition occurs perfectly and all economic actors. Second, national advantage is the potential to tax revenue that can be increased by monitoring that tax compliance of all economic actors were included in the GOTO business ecosystem. Producers will know their turnover. On the other hand, consumers will know their spending ability so they can measure their normal monthly income. So I strongly disagree with the perspective of the government side. I hope that explain it's difficultly for consumer if merger and acquisition and that digitalization is a tool for the state to facilitate supervision. However, this is with a note. The tax office issue a moderatory regulation to make GOTO database connection with the Indonesian tax system. The tax ratio range to 8% in 2020 will be posed in the coming years, he explained. Ladies and gentlemen, merger acquisition play an important role in Indonesia's economic development, especially now that Indonesia is targeting better economic growth. So the merger of acquisitions such as GOTO and other will greatly help Indonesia. Currently, economic growth coupled with the current era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0.